All right, so just a quick update today on my placement numbers and how well or not well my trajectory is going. It's definitely on the uptick, but I think my exponential run might be taking a pause, maybe over. We'll see what happens. But obviously, I'm very grateful for the results that I'm getting. So I'm just letting you guys know this is not meant to be, bragging or anything like that, but just let you know that my approach has worked. It is a consistent, logical, and reliable approach to this business that can create consistent and sustainable results. That's really the point of this video. So back in November of 2023, a little under a year ago, I put out this video where I showed you in my ASCAP account that I had about 7,500 placements. I am no longer with ASCAP, just so you guys know. I am with BMI. I recommend BMI. I just started off with ASCAP and then made the switch over to BMI. And because I did that, I have this great fortunate situation where I get to see all of my cue sheets. As you guys know, BMI does not have that feature, but ASCAP does. So I'm really just grateful that I'm able to see all the different cue sheets that get turned in. These PROs share the same database, so that's why I'm able to see my cue sheets here in ASCAP. So that was basically about a year ago, 7,500. Fast forward to today, just logged into my ASCAP, and I'm at 8,400, so about 1,000 new placements that came in over the course of about a year. So obviously, that's amazing. I'm still going up. There's still more placements coming in. So that's really great to see. However, this is where it's sort of a mixed bag signal for me. I also put out a video about a year ago showing you guys this trajectory of my career versus the placements that I've about roughly earned throughout the various years. So obviously, when I started in 2008, zero. My cue sheets had a big fat zero on it. Some of you might see that right now. And just so you know, I was there too. Everybody who does this full-time or part-time starts off with zero. That's just your starting place. But as the years went on, you can see it was sort of the snowball effect. A little bit of an exponential curve started to build up where more and more placements, more and more exposure, working with, better and better production music library partners, kind of getting the better hang of how to produce high quality licensable music started to get under my belt. And my numbers started to grow. Now, last year when I posted this, I saw this steep, massively steep curve hitting me up to around 7,000 placements in 2023. So I thought, whoa, here I am, basically at that point, 15 years into my career, am I going to see this thing just shoot up to the moon now? Am I going to basically just go up and up and up and up? It looks like an exponential curve to me. Well, we went up, but we're not at an exponential curve anymore, okay? So that's always a good sign, but also kind of like, we'll see what happens in the next year. Maybe this will be kind of the beginning of a leveling off period for my career. I don't know. I haven't been as active producing, making new music in the last couple of years. I was much more active this year than I had been in the previous 2 or 3 years. But you never know. What I'm really excited for and looking forward to is this was the year that I secured my first theme song on Major League Baseball Network. And if you guys are not familiar or not aware, theme songs are basically your home runs, your grand slams in the sync licensing business. Yes, a vast majority, pretty much all of your income for a while is going to come from background instrumental or vocal placements, maybe some featured, maybe some source. Hopefully you get something featured. That'd be really, really cool. Usually you get higher payouts for that. But the vast majority of the music that's on TV and cable networks and streaming companies is going to be background instrumental, which is going to be the lower tier payouts. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't earn great money. I've earned some great money, but you're also going to get a lot of placements that are in the pennies, right? You're going to get even fractions of pennies for some of those placements. So it can be frustrating. It's why it takes this long-term mindset, why you have to be consistently showing up, constantly thinking about your career like this, okay? If you put this on a chart for a 401k or a retirement plan or a IRA or something like that, it should look something like this as well, where you start off slow and it looks like not much is happening and you get a couple of placements and a couple of things happening. And you stick with it long enough and you keep consistently cranking out high quality music, getting better and better at this, making sure you're creating very strong direct, very, very important direct relationships with library production music library owners and CEOs. And then, hopefully the promise is that you start to build it up to the point where it starts to snowball and your relationships and your music has this kind of exponential effect where it's everywhere. It's in multiple territories all over the world. This is not happening just in the US, these placements, just so you guys are aware. I don't know what the percentage breakdown is, but I have my music in US production libraries that have foreign partners all over the world. So I have had my music probably in 30 to 40 different countries throughout my career. And that's also how this is possible, that I have this kind of network effect happening and working out in my favor. And it's one of the beautiful, most amazing reasons why sync licensing is just a great business to be a part of, because while I'm sleeping or while I'm working on new music or doing whatever I want to do, I've got an army of people, dozens of people, maybe even hundreds of people around the world in various territories, including the US, representing my music to TV and film clients and trying to get me placements. And the reason why they do this is not because they just want to donate their time. They're not, just volunteering all this. They earn money if they can earn me money. We have become partners in this endeavor. And that's why I love this business, because I have basically, how I see it, is dozens or hundreds of people that are working. They're basically independent contractors pitching my music, and I don't have to pay them a dime upfront to do it. They are self-incentivized to pitch my music to their clients because they want to get either the publishing side of it, a part of the sync fee part of it, or both. So depending on what the opportunity is. So that's what I think is really cool about this business. So I'm hoping many of you guys that get started in your summer, probably in the first couple of years here, if you're following this channel, I hope many of you guys can start to see this trajectory and start to see this exponential build of your income. Now, my royalties have either grown slightly or stayed the same on average. So this does not mean my income has necessarily tracked this entirely, okay? So I want to make sure I'm very clear on that. But what the really cool thing about this is that I haven't been very active, putting out new music since 2020, essentially since the pandemic hit. Even though I haven't done too much, I've done a couple of things here and there. My royalties have either stayed the same on their kind of average level or they've increased in certain areas. So that's 4 years now where I haven't done much work at all in terms of cranking out new music, but I've seen this kind of passive income consistently stay, building up and consistently coming into my bank account on a quarterly basis. That is the promise of this business. I know some people think that passive income doesn't exist. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of work in the last 3 years in terms of cranking out new music. I'm still getting a lot of royalties coming in, right? And this year with my theme placement, I'm really hoping that, I'm going to see my income really kind of jump up quite a bit as a result of it. You never know. It's one of those things where people always ask me like, hey, I just got a national ad campaign. How much can I expect? I've been very disappointed many times in this business. I've also been extremely pleasantly surprised from placements that I didn't think would earn a lot. So it's kind of really, in our industry, it's impossible to tell because the PROs do not share publicly how they weigh and how they calculate sort of the payouts that we get for these opportunities. But just so you guys know, there is amazing things that can happen in this business. I know that I talk about the realities of it a lot, about how hard it can be, how tough it can be. But I also want you guys to know that it's a beautiful thing to be able to see passive income coming into your bank account from all the hard work you've done in previous years, maybe even previous decades. So that's why this is a long-term endeavor. That's where the fruits of the labor can really come into play. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my journey and how things are going. So let me know how you guys are feeling. How are things going? I know some of you are very much struggling, very much thinking about giving up, maybe not seeing results, getting rejected. Totally hear that from a few of you. Some of you feel like you're trudging along, doing well, getting new acceptances, getting new deals, maybe seeing some placements, some royalties kicking in. Would love to hear from you guys. What's your update? Where are you with your journey? Where are you on this graph maybe? Would love to just pick your brain and share in the journey and your experience of what you're doing in this business.